Hello and welcome to Monday. Now it's very late because I ended up napping for a bulk of the day. No idea why, but I think I'm finally pretty much over that illness. I still got a little stuffiness in the nose, but hopefully that'll pass soon. Anyway, why did I end up sleeping today? No idea. I thought I'd take it a bit easier today for whatever reason, and then that just turned out horribly. So when I woke up around 4 or something like that, I went to. I had prepared some steak that was just bought over the weekend, salted, pepper, a little bit of seasoning, whatever, and just left it sit overnight. And then when I woke up, I was like, kind of want to serve this with something. So we had a couple potatoes in the fridge and just sliced those and then fried them. Well, yeah, tossed them in some butter and then cooked them off for a little bit. Came out great, and so we had some steak and potatoes for dinner. All fine by me. One thing I wanted to mention was that yesterday I talked about Death Note, and turns out the pocket watch, that's very shiny, was from Black Butler. I did like slide this open years and years ago, like this. And you can still see that some of the wrapping paper is on the back from right there where my finger is. Um, yeah, I don't know anything about Black Butler. But after looking into it briefly um, yesterday, after I finished recording, I think it's a series I might enjoy. It's still going on, which is crazy to me. I thought this was just, like a one-off kind of thing. But no, apparently there is multiple seasons. I don't think this thing worked to begin with, honestly. If I can get this out. Like I said, it's a gift from my cousin from years and years ago. And we'll need to. How do I even open this? Does it... Yep. Like I said, I don't think it worked to begin with. Unless I could figure out how to make it work now. Does it open more? No, that sucks. Okay. I don't understand how to get this open or what to do with it. So that's going to be a fun challenge for me in the future. Oh, no, okay, that's to close it. So I just need to figure out how to, set the time. And I'm assuming it runs on a battery, so I could probably just, twist off this. Do I have this here or is it across the room? It might be across the room. Yeah, okay. I'll need to figure out how to twist this off, but it seems like a show that I might enjoy. Other thing of note, well, because it's so late, one of the things that has been on my to-do list for a good chunk of time was to make a website for my record collection. So I kind of neglected to add a couple of albums to my running list of records that I own. This one from Raleigh Ritchie came pretty recently in the mail, so that wasn't in there already. And I think I missed out the two records I had from Sydney Sprague. Somebody Hell Loves You, I think. And then the other one is something that I cannot remember off the top of my head, so that was... Both of those were missing. Somebody Hell Loves You Deluxe. And then the other one would be... Maybe I Will See You at the End of the World. So those were missing, so I added this to the spreadsheet. And then I got thinking, how can I make this easier if I want to do anything with this data? So I spent way too long coding this script in Python that would take an Excel file and then extract the first two columns of the first sheet, which is what I use in my scenario. Obviously, this can be changed to customize somebody else's needs, but the first sheet of mine has all my records, and then I can specify another sheet, which would be CDs or whatever. It takes the first sheet, it gathers all the artists, which are in the first column, and then it gets all of the albums in the second column. And then what it does is that we take that data, and then we strip out all the spaces. We replace those with underscores. Then we take out any of the miscellaneous punctuation. So your question marks, your colons, your slashes, all of those are gone and replaced with hyphens and any other characters that are illegal in system file names. So we replace all of those with hyphens. And then we take those two strings, both column A and column B, we combine them together, so then it says artist underscore underscore album. So all of that gets output into a file, and then because I didn't want to mess with this because it's just so stupid how you need to iterate on this, I could have just implement this into another line of code. But then I take that file and then I run another operation on it that adds HTML code. So then because I have all of the files for the album art stored in a folder, it adds those chunks of information to the to another file. So this way I can just copy paste that, input it in my HTML file that will display all of the albums, and go from there. Now this is a bit finicky, it's a bit janky, it's just me trying to get back into the swing of things with coding and doing HTML stuff. But the whole purpose is that, okay, if I buy another album and I need to, or if I buy a couple albums, right? Sometimes I think I have 2 arriving in just a couple days that I did implement on the spreadsheet. But it's just it'll be easier for me to have a spreadsheet with all the information, genre, your date of release, what variants I have or what color I have, or how many copies of a single record I have, and having all of that information in a spreadsheet, so that when the time comes, I can strip out that data just through a single Python command, and that will then generate a new file that I can just use that, kind of have it in database, because I could mess with JavaScript or something, and it probably is best for me to just have a database that is queried by the website to display these albums from artists. But I think databases are so they're good for some reasons, but they suck for others, and I might just end up doing it. But I don't want to have a database for my record collection that I easily need to access. I need to access on my phone, so that if I'm at a store and I have 5 copies of this record right here, I need to check and see, hey, do I own this color variant, and if I really want to pick it up, or hey, you can't do that in a store. I guess I could check the website, but that's dumb. I want to be able to like, okay, I'm at a record store, I'm adding this to the spreadsheet. And I could probably just write something that checks to see if the spreadsheet has been changed in a meaningful way, but I don't want that. I rather make sure that, okay, this spreadsheet is complete. When I get back home, I'll download the spreadsheet, run this program that will parse all the data from the spreadsheet. Uh, Another thing I need to do is manually grab all the album art. So there's a couple of records that I have here that don't have, album art specifically online, like good album art. Um, a lot of the box sets I have across the room don't have good album art because why would they, right? So I was thinking I'm like making some high resolution scans. This one is a good example, where this record is just a guy screaming for a long time, and there's no good art of this anywhere. So I needed to rip it from the website that sold it, and then do some funky scaling with it so that it fits, because I need like 1,000 by 1,000 pixels, and then I think I scale it down to 200 by 200. So I need 2 copies of that. Well, yeah. So I and the resolution of this was not that great. So there's some funniness going around where I need to like go manually find some images and crop them properly because, and scale them because they don't exist out in the wild. I have a bunch of box sets that I would love to just take a flatbed scanner and just rip through it. And I was thinking about this, of like going to my library and being like, hey, weird question. I have a dozen or so box sets or of vinyl records that I need to scan into to get image files, because the flatbed scanner we have at home is not big enough to support a 12 by 12 record. It supports documents. And if I could get access to a scanner that has, maybe 13 inches, 14 inches tops by each dimension, and just be able to scan these in so that I have them for my personal use at a high resolution, so then I can crop them down and scale them to my my needs, that'd be great. But a lot of these I just can't find online, right? I'm looking at a couple across the room, and it's just, the Celeste one is hard to find online. I don't think I found the Hades one. Persona, any of the Persona stuff does not exist online. Tetris Effect, I haven't checked for that one, but Starbomb stuff does not exist. I could separate some of these out. Stardew Valley does not exist. The only website that has it is Fangamer for Stardew Valley. And I have a couple of records from, I think I have another Stardew Valley one, 1.4, 1.5 collection on vinyl that, while they have Spotify albums, it's just, it doesn't have the actual art of the record, which is annoying. So that's whatever. But maybe one day I can get that fixed. So yeah, I would need to just go to my library. I need to call them and be like, hey, do you have a large flatbed scanner that I can use, that, a decent sized one that I could use to scan in these records? And if they do, I would need to shuttle several pounds of bulky plastic and cardboard to scan these in. And it's a really cool project. I definitely think it's a really cool project, but I think the main thing I need to do currently is just get a website going, and that's a pain. That's a pain. I need to make I think I need to make basic kind of like off my NeoCities, and then just have like a navigation panel on the left, and then I think I should do that. I really should just I need to strip the code from the NeoCities and then just go from there, because I think that's ideal. That code I understand, and that code I can make work. And it's gonna be finicky, it's gonna be silly, but I think I can manage it. It would need to be like independent. I would need to load an HTML frame and then have other HTML frames on the like navigation panels, and then have those go to a sub page, but then I would need a static one, and then it's very complex what I want. And the main issue is that I need to update this regularly so that, you know, if I want to have a heading or a column for genre, that's like, oh yeah, you can click around and see any of these artists that I have by genre. And if I buy five records for, let's say, alternative rock and, I don't know, indie pop and then punk or whatever, 4 or 5, I can't count that number, I would need to update every single page, and that's stupid. So I would need to update everything by an artist. I would need to update everything by a genre. I would need to update years. I would need to update every single thing. And I think having a spreadsheet that I can just pull information out with a single Python script would be the ideal way to work with that. So then once all that information is out into a file, I can run the script, take that information, and just have it automatically populate these HTML pages. It might require a tiny bit of work, and I think being able to just have... I could do variables. I need to learn Django immediately. I need to learn Python web framework, because if I can just render out that into a variable, for example, genre rock equals, let's say 20, I could just... I'm getting ideas, and it is extremely late, so I should not capitalize on these ideas. That is a later issue. So I will write down these ideas, and then we'll work on them later. We're getting about to the limit of what my camera can record, so yeah. Oh boy. It's always late at night when you want to start coding. Oh, I can feel my nose stuffing up. Maybe not terribly over the sickness, but... oh boy. This silly little project will be the end of me, and it's gonna be a doozy. But, you know, that's the beauty of coding. Hopefully I'll manage to get this out. I could host it on GitHub pages too. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it here. Yeah. I'll soon have another... well, no. I'll soon have a music collection website. And that will probably expand to video games at some point as well, once I got all of that managed. But hopefully I can get all of this done in a cool way, in a fun way, in a way that works for me. But for now, that's what we're going to call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.